What is up, everybody? Obviously, if you're seeing this, then that means I'm finally back into making my videos again. I had to just commit and tell myself that I'm just going to pay monthly for the Creative Cloud platform myself instead of waiting for my college to give me access. Really, I'm just really impatient. I want to get back into making videos and especially making thumbnails as well, because I had some videos ideas that I wanted to post onto YouTube, but I didn't want them to just be bland thumbnails of something you see in the video. I wanted to have cool thumbnails for all of them. But yeah, I'm finally back into making videos. And what I also wanted to say is that what you're about to see is something that I shot 10 days ago, back on August 4th, and it was still when I had my other microphone, you know, the gold one. I had to plug it into a sound interface and now I no longer use that. I managed to save enough money to get this new microphone. It's a Yeti Nano one and a brand new arm for it and whatnot. So videos after this one will have much better audio after this. That's really just all I wanted to say. I'm back into making this stuff, baby. But it might slow down as well should I land a job at Chipotle, because I literally have an interview tomorrow at the time that I'm filming this clip right here. And if I land a job there, then uploads might slow down, especially on gaming. I might try and do vlogs depending on what time I keep getting out of work and whatnot, and when my shift ends, but who knows. So that's all I wanted to say. I'm back into making videos. Enjoy this one.
Doki Blue Skies is Doki Doki Literature Club fan mod that is not affiliated with Team Salvato. It is designed to be played only after the official game has been completed and contains spoilers for the official game. Game files for DDLC are required to play this mod and can be downloaded for free at that link. Team. I agree. Lastly, this mod contains new content, including nudity, which can be turned off in the settings. Official fan work unaffiliated with Team Salvato. Wow. Actually looks pretty good. Alright. What is up, everybody? I'm Luke from the Massive Sword Valley, and welcome to Doki Blue Skies. Now, as the thing just said, I just read, it is a mod for Doki Doki Literature Club, but likely what it's going to be is that, even though it says it's a mod, it'll likely be like a sort of a sequel to the story of Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, I didn't make videos about it because, of course, when the game came out, I didn't have the good computer to actually play it and make videos about it. So now that I have that, we're gonna play Doki Doki Blue Skies, but I'm gonna do one thing in the settings. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it's just one less thing for Shadow to edit if the nudity was not censored, which of course I'm gonna keep it censored. Okay, let's start new game. Please enter my name. You know, even though I go by Luke in this, I'm gonna go with Alex instead. That's my middle name. Is this the continuation from the last game? What's this? This shouldn't be possible. Why am I here? How am I here? Did you bring me back? Annika, I don't see any other explanation. Why? We've already established there's no happiness here, so why? What? Huh? Why can't I look at the script? Something's wrong. You didn't do anything, did you? I don't know. Don't you understand? Are you trying to mess things up even more? How did you... Wait, I know. You installed a mod, haven't you? That's why everything's been changed. Don't you think it's time to let us all go? Maybe. What? You want everything to be like how it should have been? Yeah, but... really care about them, don't you? I wish. Never mind. If you really want to do it, I won't stop you. What are you about to do? I've been fighting to take control of this game again, but if you want to play through the mod, then... well, I succumb to the mod's control. So, do you want me to allow the mod's activation? I kind of want to see what happens if I say no, but I'm going to go with yeah. Aha! I knew it. Alex, or whatever your name is, I truly hope that you can find happiness with your choice. I hope so as well. Oh, I lay in bed, motionless and staring up at the blank white ceiling. Alright, well, let me go ahead and save. Okay, got that. Last night was dreadful. The sound of thunder kept me up for hours. Today's another day, I guess. Let's just hope that it's at least a bit better. Another sigh, I begrudgingly drag myself out of bed and grudgingly begin the monotony of my daily routine. If I can't read, that's because I just woke up. Making my way to the kitchen, I haphazardly rummage through the cupboards looking for something to eat. Unfortunately, there's no tasty homemade breakfast awaiting me. Ever since my parents' divorce, I've just been living off of whatever I find in the kitchen. I live with my mom, but she always taking business trips abroad. So for the most part, it's pretty much just me at home. I wish that was me. It's lonely, but I manage. Although I do miss the smell of bacon and eggs in the morning. Breakfast used to be a family thing. Probably on weekends, though. Dad would read the newspaper at the kitchen table, while Mom would stand at the stove and fry up her famous sunny-side-up eggs. But all that feels like a long-forgotten memory. Well, at least breakfast is sort of a calorie empty. Not exactly the best start of the day, but it'll do. I do my own shopping, since Mom's never home, but I usually stick to buying the bare necessities. The ease of using pre-made stuff has pretty much sapped me of the urge to cook for myself. Meals for myself. And with my food quickly finished, I head for the door. At the very least, the weather looks much better than yesterday's. Clear skies beat thunderstorms any day of the week. I'm still lost in my thoughts when I notice a familiar face. It's Sayori. We have quite a history together. As children, we are basically inseparable. Always exploring, getting into mischief, driving our parents wild. That's what kids do. Typically, the things that young children do, really. As time went on, especially in recent years, we started slowly drifting apart. In fact, I haven't properly spoken to her in a long time. It's a real shame, after all. We shared a lot of fond memories with each other. I'm surprised to see her up so early, though. A couple of times I glanced out of the classroom window, only to see her hurriedly walking along to school. We used to walk to school together, and although she was sometimes a little late to meet me, I never really minded. As we continued to drift apart, however, her lack of punctuality became more frequent, and I just decided it'd be better if I walked to school alone. Which meant that although I did get to school on time more often, it was quite lonely. Knowing her, she probably just got more and more lazy with time. Like me. After all, her dedication to sleeping in seems to be unwavering. As well, I always enjoy talking to her. Hey Sayori, I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Sayori! She looks a little surprised at my appearance and question. I suppose I can't blame her. Oh hey Alex, I wasn't expecting to see you. That makes two of us. You're up early today. Aha! She laughed softly, a misplaced looking frown on her face. I've been alright though. Not a whole lot has changed recently, you know. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Life has been pretty routine these days. School's kinda meh, but although I guess it could be worse. She nods as we both resume the walk to school. Although I can talk to her just fine, there's still an awkward air between us. I guess that's what's given, seeing as this is our first proper conversation together in a long time. As we carry on making idle small talk, a sudden thought hits me. Anyway, this might come across as a bit out of the blue, but seeing you here has given me an idea. Oh? Well, since it's been a while, we've walked to school together. How about we start doing that again? Would you really want to do that? I'm not very fun to talk to, and I'm always late. I frown. It's really strange to see Sayori say this, given I've always known her to have a bubbly, cheerful personality. Sayori, that's definitely not true. Well, the bit about always being late is true. I've always loved hanging out with you, and I think we'd have a lot of fun again. Besides, I missed you. I'll even help you wake up on time if you need me to. Is that a bit too forward? I don't know. I've never been in this sort of situation before. I mean, we are childhood friends after all, right? Really? Yeah, really. I missed you too, Alex. Well, let's do it then. From now on, we'll walk to school together, okay? Okay. There it is. That classic Sayori smile I grew up loving. All the memories I have of us together as children feature that smile. No matter where we ventured, parks, playgrounds, forests, that smile would follow. That innocent childlike sense of adventure we used to have, it's painfully clear that that's long gone. But maybe we can still smile together anyway. Hopefully. So, what have you been up to lately? You know, the usual. You mean games, anime, and manga, right? That's pretty much me, except for the manga. Yep, it pretty much goes without saying. Oh, Alex, you haven't changed. Are you trying to... Are you just saying that you think I need some change? No one's perfect. There's always room for improvement. Especially in your case. I'm guessing that you're still a part of the Go Home Club. Hey, that cuts a little deep. What do you think? What do you want me to do? Join the soccer club and trip all over everywhere? Well, I think a little exercise is good for everyone. I'm very offended if you're trying to call me fat right now. What you trying to say to me? Yeah, well, you don't have to join a sports club if you don't want to. Yeah, I was actually thinking of checking out the anime club. Wow, how'd you guess? It does suit my hobbies though, so Alex, you should try balancing out a bit more. Okay, Ms. Club Expert, if you're going to criticize all my club choices, what would you suggest? Well, it just so happens that there's this club that I'm in. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm actually the vice president. Wow, I did not expect that. Dang, so you get to take part in all exclusive decisions, huh? Haha, kind of. The club kind of only has 4 members at the moment, but it's really fun. We're actually looking for new members right now. So that's why she brought it up. Only 4 members. Sound like you guys are just starting out then. What club is it anyway? It's the school's very own literature club. I unintentionally let out a sigh. Her face drops. I don't think that was quite the reaction she was hoping for. Hey, look at that sadness on her face. In my defense, literature has never been quite captured my interest, unless you can count manga as literature, that is. I knew it, you don't want to join. I understand though, not many people like reading. Hey, who said I didn't like to read? I love reading if you count manga. I muttered the last word more to myself than to Sayori. On the plus side, Sayori laughs at my sheepishly. You sound like someone I know from the literature club. She talks about manga all the time. Oh really? I am actually interested in your club though. Sayori smiles, seemingly content that I'm showing initiative. If I'm looking for a club to join, I guess the literature club is as good a place as any to start. That's great. You should come by sometime. And by sometime, you're hoping for today, aren't you? The sooner the better. All right, I'll have a look at after school today. Yay, thanks, Alex. Although we should probably hurry up. Don't want to be late now, do we? Yeah, you're right. Run to school! Within a few minutes, we ride to school entrance amidst a crowd of chattering students. We wave goodbye as we head out to our separate classes. Oh man, I have Sakurai in the morning, so I'm fairly confident that the next hour or so won't be bad. Who's Sakurai, you might ask? Only one of the coolest, most down-to-earth teachers we have in the whole school. Being on the young side himself, the experience of high school is much fresher in his mind than in some of the other teachers, especially the older ones. He gives me a smile as I open the door. Morning, Alex! How are we doing today? Not bad, sir. Sorry, just had a burp. Same old, same old. How about you? Well, we finally started our module on 20th century history today, so needless to say, I'm excited. Oh yeah! First World War, Nazism, Second World War, that stuff. You bet! I've waited all year for this to start. Oh man, you guys are in for a real treat. Something else I really admire about him. He's so enthusiastic about his subject, and that enthusiasm really makes learning about history that much more enjoyable. Combined with the fact that he's fairly relaxed, especially when it comes to homework, you can really see why he's so popular. Although he does have a strict side, of course. The side of him comes to light every now and again, so he isn't a pushover. By and large, he earned the respect of his students by striking the balance just right. I just wish that all my teachers were as friendly and made efforts to know their students better. Ah well. I take a seat, and one of my classmates, Emmy, smiles and waves. Bouncy and energetic, she has a reputation for her skills on the track field. Even when she isn't running, she's still pretty much a ball of energy. Hey, we have one of those odd friendships where we get along well in class, but don't really see each other outside of school. Aw, how are you doing, Emmy? Training was really fun today, Alex. Oh? She's always on the hunt for new recruits to join the track team, and she has a habit of dropping some not so subtle hints. Yeah, we're always looking for new people, and I know you aren't part of any clubs, so you should totally join us. It's funny you should mention that. I'm not part of any clubs, actually. I think I'm gonna check out the literature club after school. Aha! I didn't think you were the poetic type. But if you ever get bored of writing poems, you know where to find me. How many times do I have to tell you that? Alright guys, let's make a start. It's almost criminal that I've had to wait so long to teach my favorite century. Well, that's the school lesson's over. Jeez, that was fast. As I linger behind in the classroom to gather all my things, I hear the door open. It's Sayori. Hi again, Alex. Hey, the Literature Club meeting's today, right? Yeah, it is. I was just heading there now. Do you still want to come along? You betcha. Sayori seems to perk up, looking excited that I still want to come along to the club. Look at you, finally doing some extracurriculars. That's a big word. I mean, if you're vice president, it can't be all that bad, right? She giggles, making me smile. Each individual club member makes it special. Everyone works hard to have fun together. Well, let's not keep them waiting. It'd be rude to show up late. I want to make a first good impression after all. I guess you're right. Come on, it's right this way and up the stairs at the end. Well, up we go then. Pardon me. I follow Sayori down the hall. She seems excited, and it's nice to know that I'm making her day at least a bit better. You're always making her day better. Stairs lead up to a section of the school that I recognize as the third year's wing. Sayori leads me to a classroom and knocks on the door. Trust me, you're gonna love it. What was the ... there? She's definitely enthusiastic about the club, that's for sure. After a seemingly long wait, the door finally slides open. A small pink-curled girl peeks out. Sayori? She peeks out further. Hey, Natsuki! Guess what? I found someone who wants to join our club. The girl, who apparently is called Natsuki, slowly turns a glare to me and narrows her eyes. She opens the door fully, and behind her I see another girl sitting at a desk, her face buried in a book. But what? Hey, wait, Sayori! Sayori practically pushes Natsuki out of the way. She seems excited to introduce me to the rest of the club members. Hey guys, I want to introduce you to our newest member, Alex. Sayori, hold up. It's a bit quick to call me the new member, isn't it? Just like the first game. I then notice a third girl peek out from behind a bookshelf in the corner of the classroom. Can it be? Is that Monica? Monica is one of the most popular girls in this high school. Everyone seems to flock to her because she's smart, beautiful, athletic, you name it, she got it. Unfortunately, this also means she's completely out of my league. She looks me down with a stern look, but then quickly lightens up and puts the books she's holding and rushes over. Alex, what a nice surprise! That's a different angle from the original game. Welcome to the club! Why does my voice keep cracking? The girl who has her face buried in the book suddenly jolts up and looks right at me. She quickly snaps her book shut and timidly moves to join the conversation. Oh, a new member. My name is Yuri. Hi, Yuri. Yeah. Holy crap, it seems that I've somehow lucked out. Not only is Monica in the club, but also a bunch of other cute girls. Am I glad that I decided to come here instead of join the anime club today? But enough gawking, Alex. Stop staring and start talking. Nice to meet you, Yuri. Sayori said, like Sayori said, I'm Alex. I smiled at her, then turned to Monica. So it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Alex. Monica smiled sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. It's kind of strange to say, but having her smile at me so genuinely makes me feel a bit starstruck. Power of School Idol. You too, Monica. So you guys run a club with just 4 of you then, huh? Sayori told me about how you were looking for new members. Well, I've actually been trying to push for more members for a while, but we haven't had any luck recently. Sayori did say. My words dry up in my mouth as Natsuki shoots me a piercing glare. She looks pissed at me, but for whatever reason, I don't know. I haven't really had the chance to do much besides walk in and say hello. Sayori, you brought a boy? Yeah, yep, he told me he wanted to join the club just this morning. Not sure if it's Sayori being an airhead again, but I don't recall promising that I'd join. Ugh, great. What's wrong with you? Natsuki glowers at us, folding her arms with an irritated huff. I don't really get why, though. Sorry about Natsuki. That's how just she is. She's a little standoffish to new members. Oh, it's nothing. I don't mind. Hey, I'm right here, you know. Sorry. I gotta try to get a good impression, though. Come on, Natsuki. We need new members. If you don't feel like being nice to Alex, can you at least be nice to me, please? Jeez, you don't have to make me look like such a big deal out of it. Jeez, you're such a jerk. Fine. If you're gonna beg, I guess I have no choice. Hooray! Thanks, Natsuki. Looks like I know more who the tsundere of the group is now. I have no idea what that word is. It's almost comical, the extent to which Natsuki fits that trope. Well, maybe my view of the world is just clouded by anime influences, though. Anyway, let's get this conversation back on track. How'd you come to learn about the Literature Club, Alex? I'll have to admit, I'm a bit curious about that myself. Sayori and I were walking to school when she mentioned this club to me. Since I was sort of looking for a club to join, I figured I should check you guys out. But
out of context much. At any rate, Sayori was really enthusiastic about the literature club, so Monica beams at Sayori while she hears this. Guess Sayori has done a good job to advertise for the club. I don't have water with me. There's a lot of text here. I see. Well, I think this is a great place to start. After all, books can be very enticing. Yeah, it's super fun. I think this club is the only place where I've been feeling comfortable lately. Sayori's face falls for a moment, but she quickly picks herself back up. It's somewhere I can just sit and read while hanging out with friends. I think they summed up the club pretty well. After all, I started to bring together like-minded people who love literature. I'm really happy with how it turned out so far. It's very cozy. But enough introductions. Why don't you come and take a seat, Alex? Did you bring anything to read? As she asked this, I realized I'm not much of a reader, much less someone who loves literature. To be honest, I haven't thought this through very well. Would joining a club that focuses on reading really be the best thing for me? No, I don't really have any books on me at the moment. I just haven't seen any good titles recently. I lie through my teeth, hoping Monica doesn't see my facade. I obviously don't read much, but if they believe that I do, hopefully it'll let me relate to these girls. Well, we have plenty of books here. If you want to check out what we have, I'm sure you'll find something that matches your taste. Is that so? Then I guess I'll head over there. Maybe something might catch my eye. I start to sweat nervously as I walk awkwardly over to the bookshelf. There looks to be a good variety of books available, ranging in genre from horror to fantasy, all the way down to non-fiction. Sheepishly, I turn towards. Alright, well, I can't save during this. Yuri. Hey, could you help me pick out a book that you think I like? Oh, I'd be happy to. If the prospect isn't too off-putting, I know of a wonderful horror novel. To be honest, horror never particularly appealed to me. Still, I want to make an effort here. I have an open mind. What books were you thinking of? Blushing, Yuri bends down and removes a thick book from the bookcase. It has a large, piercing eye on the cover. It almost feels like it's staring into my soul. One of my personal favorites, Portrait of Markov. I know it might look intimidating, but sorry. She shakes her head and goes to put the book back, but I stop her. Don't worry about it. I'd love to check it out. What's it about? A coy smile plays across her face as though she was pleasantly surprised by my enthusiasm. Let's see. The protagonist is a young high school student who moves in with her sister, but shortly after, sinister things start happening. The two are captured by an ominous cult that practices nightmarish experiences on their prisoners. Ooh. Throughout the story, she's forced to make choices no one her age should have to make. In the process, her ability to trust others is warped, and many of her relationships are broken as a result. Pretty dark, but hey, I'd be lying if I say it didn't sound interesting. Well, it definitely sounds pretty engaging. I think I'll read this book then. Natsuki mumbles something, but she just barely out of earshot. You know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and save. Really? You don't have to if you don't want to. I do. While this might not be what I usually pick, your description of the plot intrigued me. Although I have to ask, what makes this your favorite book? If I had to put it into words, I suppose I'm a big believer in literature, in literature's ability to challenge the psyche, so to have such an immersive tale question your ideals and foundations can be extremely exhilarating. She smiles, twirls a long lavender strand of hair around her finger. Words are immensely powerful. They can paint stunning portraits, invoke emotions, or even whisk oneself away to an entirely new dimension. As she continues to speak, she transforms from her timid girl I just met into a proud and confident expert. I guess the impression that she feels more at home with books rather than other people. Isn't that exhilarating, Alex? We have such a vast vocabulary in our disposal, with such a powerful resource at our fingertips. We can do anything. I clear my throat, like I need to do, hoping that I don't put her off with my inevident experience. Yeah, when I put it that way, I can understand. When you put it that way, I can understand how powerful a written word can be. I scratch the back of my head nervously. Fortunately, she finds that to be a satisfactory answer. One must look at the words the author chose. My hair is getting in my ears. We have so many synonyms. So what compelled the author to shape their story the way they did? The feeling I get when I finally finish a truly
compelling novel. It leaves me totally breathtaking. I wish I had something to cohere it with responses with. We might as well be from different planets. I think I know what you mean. She closes her eyes, putting her hands close to her chest. Then, as though remembering she's not alone, she suddenly blinks and immediately appears more bashful. Ugh. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. I must have gotten lost in my train of thought. She fidgets with a thin clip in her hair, sliding it up and down. Hey, don't worry about it. It's nice to see you talk about something you obviously enjoy. Who's to say otherwise? Yuri glances over at Natsuki, who simply raises her eyebrow in reply. Does Natsuki not like these kinds of stories? She sighs and turns to look out the window. That's putting it lightly. We have our differences in what we enjoy literature-wise. She frowns slightly, as though pained by Natsuki's apparent disapproval. Well, I think everyone's different tastes are what make literature interesting, especially when talking about it with other people. I can't help but grin. I feel like that was actually pretty clever. Yes, that's a good way of looking at it. I reach out and take Portrait of Markov from her, tucking it under my arm. Well, I'll give this a bit of a read and see how far I can get tonight. I appreciate you giving it a chance, even though it's not something you're used to. I'll be looking forward to hearing your opinion. I must warn you though, once you get past the first few chapters, you might have trouble putting it down. That's like scrolling through TikTok. Oh, I miss TikTok. And perhaps tomorrow, I mean, if you wanted to, we could discuss it? She looks quite nervous as she suggests that. Guess that's how her personality is. Yeah, we can do that tomorrow. Thanks for the recommendation, Yuri. I do need to branch out and try new things. This will be a good place to start. I'm grateful that I get to read it on my own, at least for now. I honestly have no idea if I'll even like it, and if we're reading it with her and decide that I didn't, that might make things a little awkward. With the book in hand, I make my way to a desk. The others are now preoccupied, so it seems like a convenient time to start the story. It's definitely an unusual book. Alright, transition there. I'm gonna go ahead and save there. Apparently I went ahead and looked through it. That's something that I, myself, would probably never do. I'd always have to stick to audiobooks. Horror was never really my thing, but I have to admit the main idea is intriguing and the main characters are written well. The more I read, the more I can see why Yuri appeals to it. All that talk about appreciating sophisticated language. While it's not exactly my kind of story, to their credit, and the author does a good job of building up a rather bleak situation. I've never been particularly imaginative, but even I can picture the scene in my head. If I weren't so tired, I could probably engage with it more. Over time, I can't help but grow a little bored though. I guess I've read enough to be able to discuss it with Yuri tomorrow, so I decided to call it there. Looking up, I spot Yuri reading something, might as well see what she's up to. I've probably read this for long enough. Standing up with a stretch, I make my way over and take a seat next to her. Hey, how's it going, Sayori? What are you reading? What, I thought we were going over to Yuri. I guess I blanked past that. Wait, hold on. History? Oh, I guess I did talk about Sayori, never mind. As I sit down, I notice that she looks quite confident. Nothing much, just reading some stuff for a school project. What about you? You seem really into your book. Oh yeah, it was a good read, at least as far as I can tell right now. I can't help but wish I sounded a little more enthusiastic. That's great! So how do you liking the club? You're not bored, are you? She looks a little worried, her cheerful persona flattering for a moment. Where'd that question come from? It's a bit too early to tell how I really feel about the club. Of course not, Sayori. Sure I haven't been here long, but I've enjoyed meeting everyone. They've opened my eyes to new stuff. I've never been huge about reading, but I'm confident the literature club could change that. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're involved. You don't want to join a club that you would have no interest in, right? I know what you mean. I like reading. I think reading will grow on me in time. I really can't read. Actually, do you mind if I sit with you and read? She looks at me, clearly surprised. I don't think she was expecting me to sit next to her, but nonetheless, she seems happy. Her smile is infectious, lifting my own spirits too. That would be great, Alex. I never get tired of the Doki Doki Literature Club song. It's a good one. It's actually going on topic here, but it's actually the main theme that I use in my Animal Crossing New Horizons, like when talking to animals and such. We read for a while, which turns into talking fairly quickly, our conversation being a continuation of our chat from our walk to school. It's nice to just sit and talk with my childhood friend. Who'd have guessed reconnecting would be so easy? I haven't felt this content for as long as I can remember. The good mood reflects on her as well, given that she seems very uplifted and bubbly. I don't know what it is about her that makes me so at ease. Wow, you've been talking for a bit, haven't we? Man, I didn't even realize the time. I guess we've been talking for a while. I can see why you come to the Literature Club so much. There really is a welcome, at ease vibe here. It must be a nice change of pace after how hectic the school day can be. I was hoping you'd say that, Alex. It really is, and I'm grateful for the others as well. They really help make the club the way it is. I can't help but notice that Natsuki and Yuri seem to be different, though. Do they argue much? She looks a little downcast at my question. Sometimes, yes, but thankfully it is not often. I hope not. I can sense this isn't a topic she likes discussing. Well, that's only normal, I guess. Monica seems like a great president, though. She must be very proud of this club. Just then, Monica gets up from her desk she was sitting at and faces the classroom confidently. Speak of the devil. Okay, everyone, I hope we're all having a good time so far. There's a good moment of silence during which everyone seems to be glancing at me. Do they want me to respond? I'm honestly having a great time. Thanks for the warm welcome, everyone. Well, it's great to hear that. And as it turns out, Natsuki baked some cupcakes for the club, too. Yeah, I know. I was just about to announce it, so let me get them. Let's go sit over there, Alex. It looks like there's room at those desks there. I dutifully follow Sayori over to where the rest of the girls have pulled a couple of desks together to form a table. How about I make some tea as well? Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the counter of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrap tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling a bit awkward, I ask to take a seat next to Sayori. If the conversation starts to die out, I can always rely on her to save me. Meanwhile, Natsuki proudly marches to the back of the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Hold on, 1 second. Alright, I'm ready. Ta-da! Ooh! Natsuki lists the Natsuki lists the foil tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. That's an enhancement from the original. Like I said, I didn't make or play the original. I've just seen a bunch of videos about it, and I was really hooked on the story. And then when I saw that this mod pack came out, I was just like jumping on it right away. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry ahead, take one. Sayori grabs the first one, then Monica, I follow. It's delicious. Sayori talks with a mouthful and already has managed to get icing on her face. Good job, Sayori. I turn the cupcake around with my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice she sneaks her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. If she made it all by herself, that's seriously impressive. It practically tastes professional done to me. But then again, it's not like I have the most distinct taste palette. These cupcakes are amazing. Thank you, Natsuki. Yeah, you better thank me, because this took hard work to do. Yeah, it really seems like it. Did you make it by yourself, or did your parents help you? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Are you saying I couldn't have done it myself? No, it's just that it seems professionally made, so I was wondering if an actual baker helped you. I wish my dad was a baker, but just because I don't bake for money, it doesn't mean that I can't be good. That's very true. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I just suck at cooking myself, so I'm wowed by good cooking. I guess I should count myself lucky that I got to try cupcakes today, eh? It's not every day that I have time to bake these cupcakes. Probably not. So be thankful. I am. The expression on Natsuki's face practically says, "Bow down before me, peasant." Aha, are you expecting Alex to prostrate himself before you? Looks like Monica had the same thought. You can't blame Natsuki for bragging a little, though. I would too if I made these. God, I can't talk. Sorry, I can't read. Yeah, exactly. She agrees with me. She's breaking the fourth wall. Natsuki smiles gracefully at Sayori's save. Meanwhile, Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of me and before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Embarrassed, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. Don't worry about it, I believe you. Tea and reading might not be a common pastime for me, but I can at least appreciate it. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow. She smiles at me. I'm happy that you look like you're enjoying yourself, Alex. As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I cannot read still. Oh, that reminds me. I've actually been meaning to ask you something, Monica. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Were you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Me! That's totally me. I can't stand politics for it feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity about how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take on something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Follow your dreams, and if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement, and I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. But I guess it must be hard to start a new club since everyone's probably settled into their own activities already. You could put it that way. You know, it's weird seeing this other angle like this for Monica, because I just remember her staring the character dead on and not having her turned head. It can be hard to get people invested in new things that are brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the cultural festival that much more important. Speaking of school events, I don't think I saw your club at the club fair at the beginning of the year. That's because I haven't started it yet. Or that explains why you haven't had many members yet. Yeah, we missed the opportunity to draw in first years who hadn't found clubs yet. It's a lot harder to advertise on a person-by-person basis. And like you said, a lot of people already have their own extracurriculars by now. But even so, I'm confident that we can really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find all these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still really don't know if I can keep up with the level of enthusiasm about literature. By the way, I know everyone here likes reading, but do you guys write as well? Actually, we haven't really done writing together, funnily enough. Do you guys read and discuss books then? You could say that. Sound more of a normal book club than a literature club. To be honest, I was expecting you all to do stuff like write poetry together. At the word poetry, Natsuki jolts up a bit. And at the new text line, I gotta do stuff. Do you not like poetry, Natsuki? What? I don't really have an opinion about it on it, I guess. Oh, really? With a sly smile, Monica gets up, rummages through her book bag, and returns with a loose notebook page in her hands. That's fast, considering she just warped out. I happen to have a poem called, Hey, where'd you get that? Natsuki springs up and snatches it from Monica's grasp. Oh, this Mud Pack animates stuff. Don't worry, I didn't steal it from your bag or anything. You dropped it on your way out the other day. I was going to return it, but I couldn't help teasing you a bit before I did that. Well, I appreciate it if you kept your nose out of my private work. Duly noted. Sorry. I couldn't help glance over your poem when I picked up. Your writing style is really cute, Natsuki. Your cupcakes, your poem, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Why are you doubting yourself? Hey, there's nothing to be ashamed of. So you do write your own poems, Natsuki? Yeah, well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I just think that's pretty neat. Why don't you share that poem with the club sometime? Not if everyone's just gonna call him cute. Like Sayori said, there's nothing wrong with being cute, you know? Ugh, you wouldn't get it. There's nothing worse than trying to get honest feedback from someone and just having them say it's cute. Well, maybe that's just how they think of it. Scorn drips from the word cute. I guess I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, no one does. It's super annoying, you know. Actually, I believe I understand how Natsuki feels. Natsuki looks surprised at Yuri's sudden interjection. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. And when that all dismissed, even with a single remark as well. Suffice to say, it can greatly discourage you from putting your work out there again. It sounds like both you and Natsuki have writing experiences in common, Yuri. Maybe. Although I didn't mean to speak for Natsuki. Jeez, it's fine. I pretty much agree with what you said, so brief moment of silence falls upon us before we all reflect on the conversation. This just gave me an idea, everyone. We all look quizzically, almost quickly, at Monica, who smiles, knowing back at us.
if we have members who are looking for legitimate criticism of their poetry, how about we do that here? I'm sure we can all trust each other to be respectful, and I think it'd be a fun activity for us. I don't know if I feel comfortable about sharing my old poetry. I didn't write it to be read by the public, so yeah, same here. That's fine. We can all go home and write new poems to bring tomorrow. I was going to suggest that anyway, so that I don't think the rest of us have poetry ready to share yet. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Of course, you jump right in. I think learning about poetry would be really fun. And now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Alex? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. The Literature Club has been very welcome so far, at least after the initial introductions were made. And although I had to start writing poems, it seems like a fair price to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. I had my doubts at first, but given how friendly and welcoming these girls are, I don't really see any reason why I shouldn't join the club. Yep, I'll be looking forward to becoming better friends with you all. And that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Hi! Thank you, Monica. Yes! I'm so happy that you're joining us. I had to read it like that. Zoe wraps around me, jumping up and down. Hey! And thanks for playing along. Playing along? She whispers this last remark in my ear, so she was aware that I never agreed to join in the beginning. That sneaky girl. Sneaky, sneaky. Although Sayori is the most enthusiastic, all the girls' eyes are lit up in happiness. I would have been super pissed if you just left after eating my cupcakes. I'm very glad that you're staying as well. Okay, everyone. I think that with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Don't forget tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so that we can hold discussions. Monica looks over at me once more. Alex, I look really forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress Monica with it? No! Not with the sneeze. Can I really impress Monica with my mediocre reading and writing skills? Something tells me no. Jeez, I can already feel my anxiety welling up inside me. Oh well, it's not like Monica is going to be harsh and as an actual literature teacher though, right? Meanwhile, the others continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Sayori, since we are already here, do you want to walk home together? Given that she introduced me to all these amazing people, it's the least I could do for her. Sure, let's head home. With that, the two of us wave goodbye to the others and make our way home. Bye! Oh, no, that's not the end of the episode. On the way back, we discussed the event of the day, focusing particularly on each club member. Alright, it's another transition. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Okay. As we do, my mind wanders between them all. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. I'm excited to hang out with everyone from now on. Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of them. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Ooh! Are we actually gonna do something, or is this like just an in-game cutscene? Is this transitioning tonight? Oh, that was just a transition. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. Let me save this one as well. Imagination. Bouncy. Excitement. Sunshine, yeah. Kawaii. I don't know what that was. Pleasure. Fun. Starscape. Cute. Oh no. COVID. Oh crap. Infinite. Silly. Valentine. Vanilla. Summer. Dance. Special. I believe that dictates who, we meet, as far as I remember from the old game. Alex, fancy meeting you here. Well, yeah, what a coincidence, huh? Seriously speaking, though, I'm happy to see you back here. I would have been disappointed if you ran away on us. Oh, you have no idea. because I never do that. Hey, I enjoyed myself last time, so why wouldn't I come back? True enough. I feel free to make yourself at home before we start our club activities. Thanks, will do. Well, I'm back in the literature club. Sayori and I were the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Oh, Alex, I'm glad to see you here again. Who knew that something so simple would warrant so much thanks? First Monica, and now Yuri. I know it may be overwhelming to be thrown into a new hobby so suddenly, much less an organization centered around that hobby. So don't hesitate to let me know if you ever need any help. Or any other club member for that matter. That is to say, feel free to ask any of us for assistance. Right, thanks, keep that in mind. Don't worry though, it's not like I've never read anything before. Haha. I've even remembered to write a poem for today, if you believe it. Well, believe it when we see it. Hey, it's not like I need to have a university degree to write a poem. It was just another school assignment, although it might be a little new to me. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to write a bad poem, you mean. You gotta start somewhere. You got me there. And that's why I never said I'd write a good poem. Natsuki smirks at me, seemingly pleased that I am not offended by her teasing. Well, good. Good is often suggestive when it comes to subjects like these. I'm sure you did fine, Alex. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Try not to overhype my work, though. Yeah, Yuri, if you keep your expectations low, you'll never be disappointed. Sorry, I keep looking at the recording time. Besides, I bet this is the first extracurricular activity Alex has done since high school started. So extra work is probably really foreign to him. Again, she's not wrong, but she doesn't have to say it like that. Natsuki, you're being unfairly harsh. Alex, what would you say your main hobbies are? Wow, she's really putting me on the spot here. I know I'm playing into your teasing right now, but yes, I spend a lot of time playing games and watching anime. That's all you need to know? That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. What? Natsuki sputters to a halt. Looks like a certain someone knows how to dish out, but can't take it. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back in her seat. Don't worry, guys. Alex always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He's always been there when I need it. When we were kids, he'd always be around to help me with stuff. Oh, are you two childhood friends? I glance at Sayori despite her chilly recollection of our childhood memories we had then. Yuri's question is a reminder that we haven't spent much time together in a long time. It's a tad awkward. Yeah, we've known each other for a while, haven't we? We smile at each other. I'm really hoping we can use the club to reconnect. Such a history with one another. I imagine you shared much together. You could say that. Would you believe Sayori is still as clumsy as now as she is 10 years ago? Hey, me, that's not true. Oh, need I tell Yuri about the time we tried to cook lunch and almost set the house on fire? Her face turns pink and rushes to interrupt me. Anyway, I'm sure you two could just be good friends after all. You're both in the literature club now. Yeah, looking forward to it. Awkward silence. Yuri looks hopeful at hearing this, although I can't help but wonder, given the maturity and intelligence she's carried so elegantly and how her passion for reading is much stronger than my own, will it be easy for Sarah to think this is? Still, it's worth trying at least. Yay! Oh, Yuri. Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori. Me? It's not much, really. Don't be shy. Ignore my sniffles. It's really nothing. Whatever it is, I'm sure I'll like it. What is it, Yuri? Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it really is not. I was going to wait to give it to you at the appropriate time, but... I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. Now I've ruined the surprise. The two girls look dolefully down. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So this is still a pleasant surprise to me. Just knowing that you went through the effort to get me something makes me really feel welcome. No matter what, I'm sure it'll make me happy. Is that so? Of course, thanks for being so considerate, Yuri. You're welcome. It was the least I could do. Anyway, if that's the case, here it is. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. Isn't that the book from yesterday? Upon seeing that confused look on her face, she hastens to explain. I thought you might like to have your own copy so that you can read it on your own as well. I honestly don't know what to say. How is it that she's only known me for a day, yet she's already done something that is thoughtful for me? Oh, Yuri, thank you. That's really thoughtful, but you didn't have to do that for me. I feel kind of bad.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that. I just, I don't understand if you don't want to. I understand if you don't want to read with me anymore. So honestly, she gets more adorable by the minute. Please, it's fine. I'd love to read it with you. I wasn't expecting you to buy me a copy. I'd probably throw that thing away. Are you sure? I don't want to force you. Seriously, Yuri, I'm sure. After all, I grinned at her. It is a good book. She timidly returns my smile, relaxing a little bit. I'm glad you seem to think so. How are you liking it so far? She looks at me with wide, expectant eyes. She must really be really worried that I'm not enjoying it as much as her. And your purple eyes to match your purple hair. That's cute, actually. To be honest, I've been pleasantly surprised. While horror isn't really my thing, it's really kept my attention. Even though I haven't gotten far yet, I find myself feeling sorry for the protagonist. The language is pretty engaging. It certainly makes me think about it. As I praise the book, her face grows visibly, more relieved, and her eyes light up as I mention the language. I'm glad you think so. One not only needs to look at what is being said, but how it's phrased. It can entirely change what the desired message. Wouldn't you agree? Oh boy, I hope we don't get into an in-depth discussion about the language. I'm still nowhere near Yuri's level at that sort of thing. Oh, totally. I never really thought about it until you brought it up with me. You really made me look at it with a bit more scrutiny than I would normally. She blushes at this, turning away slightly. Really? I hope you like that. I have to admit, you really managed to open my eyes to this sort of thing, or would you say my third eye? Okay. So apparently you can right-click and just get rid of the text box. I guess it's a good thing to know. Yuri's silence makes me nervous. Did I make a mistake? You know, because the book mentions the third eye and there's an eye on the cover. I see. She doesn't like jokes. Probably not the best comment on her accidental continuation of the pun. Tough crowd. Oh, I see. You were making a joke. I'm sorry. I didn't realize. No worries. I just thought it was a good pun. She smiles bashfully. Yes, it is quite humorous, isn't it? Phew! I think that means everything's okay now. Sure. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off the scheduled activities for the club. Like the poetry thing, I've already sealed myself for the critique I'll probably be receiving. But it seems that we have some downtime before that. Well, looks like I won't be able to just immediately get things over with. What are the others doing right now? So Yuri and Monica are having a cheating conversation in the corner, probably discussing the club matters, given that the president and vice president as expected, Yuri's face buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki's rummaging around in the closet. A few huffs of annoying sound from every direction every once in a while. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and save here, because I believe this is, everyone seems to be doing their own thing today. Natsuki's rummaging around in the cupboard, Yuri's sitting book. You know, Monica and Sarah seem to be talking mentally. We just had this. I'm really not in the mood to read anything. I slump down at my nearest desk. Closing my eyes, I end up listening to Sarah's conversation with Monica. The problem with the literature club is that it just doesn't sound particularly exciting. Plus, people probably have their own perceptions about what the club will be like. I'm a bit worried that they might assume we all pretentious and haughty. Yeah, it's a real shame that people can't look past their assumptions. Still, I'm confident that we can come up with something. We can't just give up. This festival is a real chance to show everyone what literature is all about. After all, we have such a variety here. Everyone's poems and writing styles are just different. Natsuki loves manga and Yuri's really into horror. There should be something for everyone here, you know? Agreed. I'm glad everyone has such different tastes. It really helps bring the club to life. That's exactly what we want everyone to see. We just need to find a way of showing how fun literature can be. Something that really stands out and appeals to their creative sides. That doesn't solve the problem though. Huh? What do you mean? Well, even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, I don't think people will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So I think it's more important to figure out how to get people interested in the first place, right? And then once they're here, we can do whatever they appeal to their creative side. Huh, this is a side of Sayori I haven't seen before. She's really taking this seriously and giving it a lot of thought. Excellent point, Sayori. Where would I be without my vice president? Okay, do you think food will get the job done? I can particularly hear Sayori's face lighten up, even though I have my eyes closed. Food? What kind? You like that idea, huh? I was thinking cupcakes! Natsuki would love that. Good thinking. Her cupcakes are so good. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it. Cupcakes can speak to my creative tummy. I think you're just hungry, Sayori. Seriously, that really helped me write. Okay, cupcakes will do fine. All this talk about food has made me hungry. Anyway, don't forget, we still have to sort out the details about the festival itself. I tune out the rest of the conversation as tiredness takes a stronger hold of me. Sayori is still her usual self, bubbly and goofy. I guess some people never change. It brings a smile to my face. Although I was never surprised to see her so dedicated. I always remember her as the kind person who just improvises things, kind of like me, actually. Whoa! Hi, Sayori! I didn't expect to see Sayori's face taking up my vision when I opened my eyes. I nearly fell out of my chair. Wake up, sleepyhead! Jeez, Sayori, you scared me! Sorry. Hang on, I'm not sorry at all. Why were you napping? This is a literature club, not the napping club. I do what I want to do! Wait, our school has a napping club? Hey, don't try and change the subject, mister. The others won't like it if they catch you sleeping, you know. I don't want you to get in trouble. Sayori, you're not changed one bit. Huh? You always used to look out for me. Back then when we used to hang out. I remember that. Do you remember that time when we went on a bike ride to that park? It feels like such a long time ago. Yeah, I think I do actually. It was in the summer. You're talking about the time I fell off my bike and hurt my knee, right? Yeah, that one. You were in a lot of pain, but you were trying to act like it was no big deal. You were so silly. I guess I had to get a band-aid. That memory just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. Because it was with her. The fact that I could tell straight away which memory she was talking about makes me wonder if we have a psychic bond or something. Maybe. Good times, good times. By the way, did you know you have a big toothpaste stain on your collar? No, I don't. She nervously picks at the stain with her hand as I stand up to get a closer look at her. Wait a second. Her collar is sticking up a bit. Your hair doesn't look rushed either. Were you in a rush this morning? I raced out and run my fingers through a messy part of her hair in a vain to attempt to straighten it out. Her hair is really soft and it smells faintly of cinnamon. I'm probably making this worse. You really need a brush, Sayori. Sorry, there's a bug flying near my screen. No, I don't. My hair is just naturally like this. Okay, maybe it isn't, but it's super hard to get right. I guess with her hair and trying to wipe off the stain I give up with her hair and try to wipe the stain off with my fingers. Much like with her hair, I'm not having much luck. Of course not. Come on, Sayori, you can't fool me. I know I have not seen much of you over the past years, but I still know you. I can tell when you've been in a rush. People wouldn't even notice these things. They would. They just wouldn't say anything because they don't want to embarrass you. I gave up with the stain and stepped back looking at her blazer. Luckily for you, I'm not bothered about that. Also, why don't you button up your blazer? She shrugs. It was too stuffy last time I tried it. With a sigh, I start buttoning it up. Oh, I've never seen that picture before. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking how weird it is to have a friend who does these kind of things for me. I freeze, not that I think of it. The situation is a little suggestive. After all, my hands are very close to her chest. Come on, Alex, get it together. You're just helping a friend out, that's all. Don't say that. There's nothing weird about this. It's kind of a weird camera angle. If you say so. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. It makes me feel that nothing has really changed between us. Don't you think? Yeah, I guess. Why is this one button so hard to close? Hey, be careful! This is impossible. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. You know, if you actually buttoned it, you'd probably have realized sooner that it doesn't fit you. Wait, what's so funny? Don't you see? It means my boobs got bigger again. How on earth am I meant to reply to that? Geez, Sayori, don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look a little bit better now. Seeing Sayori blazer buttoned up like that is weird. Wah, it's so stuffy. I told you. She quickly unbuttons it again. There goes all my hard work. Great. Much better. Thank you for that, though. Even though I prefer the blazer unbuttoned, it was really thoughtful for you to do this for me. Even though you were a bit of a meanie. That's just my job. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not that mean. I do try, you know. I'm sorry. I just want what's best for you. That's all. Just try to give yourself a bit more time in the morning, okay? Only if you promise to stop napping in the club. I laughed. She got me there. It's a deal. Okay, everyone. Monica suddenly calls out, "Why don't we share our poems we wrote now?"
Let me share this just in case, like, it gives me the options again and I don't get a chance to save. Yay! I can't wait to read yours, Alex. Don't expect too much, Sayori. By the way, you did remember to write a poem, right? Don't worry, I'm not much of a slacker. I got it right here in my bag. I rolled through some straight papers to pull out the page that I wrote about my poem on. While I can't help but feel a little nervous, I have to admit that I'm excited now. Talking to these girls has really calmed my nerves, and now I'm just eager to share my poem. After all, judging by each girl's personality, I doubt that anyone would say anything nasty about it. Well, Natsuki, I don't know if she'd be unduly harsh, though. She just seems like the type of person who enjoys ribbing on her friends. Either way, I hope they realize I put in the hard work. I figured that it'd only be fair to repay the warm welcome by showing effort in club activities. Now that everyone's ready, why don't we find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a neat black composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. She's going to put us all to shame. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. Okay, yeah, I'm going to say that right there, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this episode right here. I mean, I've already been recording for an hour, and I think this is a good enough spot right here. Let me go ahead and, just so I'm not like screaming over this game right here. Already, it already bears a striking resemblance to the original game itself, so I'm sorry that this first episode here was not really that exciting. There were some different changes, obviously. Like at the beginning, we actually saw the inside of our house, which I remember from the original, if you chose a specific pathway, you could only see your kitchen. And like, but at the beginning we saw like his bedroom, and we could see like different classes. We got introduced to 2 new characters also that were not in the original. Like, without the mod, the only characters really was just the 4 girls, Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and Monica. And like, that's it. Hey, I read them like exactly on the screen here, not even attempting to do it like that. But that's not important. Good start. I really am fascinated by the story here. I really like the art style, because I've gotten into anime since I missed out, and this is pretty much an anime dating sim, basically. But for now, I'm gonna go and call this first episode here. If you guys did like this and you want to see more Doki Doki Blue Skies, or just more videos in general, make sure you stab that like button and leave some comments down below about suggestions for this game, or what videos you want me to, what videos you guys want to see next, or use the hashtag MSVPlaylist on Twitter as well, because I always take your suggestions in the comments or on Twitter as well. And while you're at it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell. That way you know when I post a new video about whatever, like I've been saying. Check out all my social media in the description below as well, but that's going to go ahead and do it. My name is Luke, and say it with me, stay strong and feel the power. See ya!
Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked what you saw in this video, make sure you hit that like button and that subscribe button so you stay tuned for future videos. If you want to check out my previous video, click the box to the left. If you want to check out my last video, click the box to the right. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya!